Hello and welcome to my presentation of how to use the Nikon D3100 DSLR camera. I know this might look imposing for the beginner, but I'm telling you it's really not that difficult to get started from the beginning to uploading pictures to your computer. So let's get started. Here's the box. It's not that hard to open up. In the box you'll see a couple things. One is the camera, that's the fun part. The other part is the charger. You're going to need that. Most of the time the battery should be charged up, but if the camera isn't working, that's a good indication. So to access the battery, there's the bottom of the camera. There's the battery, and if you let gravity help you out, you can take it out easier. There is the charger, and just input the battery the correct way. It might take a few hours for it to charge, but as the instructions on the charger says, it's charging when it's blinking, and when it's a solid light, it has completed its charging course. There, it looks like it's charging, but it's a picture, so you can't really tell. It's charging. Okay. Just insert it. There's only one way that it can go in, and that's the right way. Okay, so the basics of the camera. There's the off button and the on button. Switch it to the on position, and when you take a look at the camera, this is basically what you should see. However, after a couple seconds, you may see a blank screen. And so that's typical. Don't worry, that should go off after a couple seconds of not use. However, you don't want to forget to take off the lens cap, which is on the front. Just pinch the cover, the top and the bottom there, and the lens will come off. If, however, you turn on your camera and all you see is at the top no SD card inserted, you may need to install your SD card. So open up this side of the casing and make sure there's a card in there. Hopefully there's one provided. It goes in just like this. You just push it in. Okay, also, most of the time all you're going to need is the auto shoot. This little green button at the top, you can turn the wheel to there. And also, you're only going to need a single shot at a time. I don't think you're going to need any action shots, as the previous slide indicated. So just move this switch up to the S for a single shot. So with the auto setting, you may notice that in high light situations where your scenery is lit well, you will not have a flash, but if you're in low light situations with the auto on, your flash might pop up like this. So don't let that startle you. On auto settings it will pop up automatically and it will flash. Just let it do its thing, unless you know how to operate a camera, and then you can fiddle around with the flash or not flash. It won't hurt the camera any to force the flash down and take a picture, but you may have to remain still because in low light situations it's harder to take a crisp picture. Also, the camera is not an iPhone. The screen is not interactive with a touch interface with your finger. So in order to take a proper picture, you will not be able to look at the screen while taking a picture. You'll have to actually put it up to your eye and take a picture that way. Now, this is equipped with an automatic focus, and the way to focus it automatically is to press halfway down on the shutter button right there. That's the button that you use to take pictures. If you hold it down halfway while looking at your subject, it will automatically focus, and you will see. Here, I'll provide an example for you here. When you look through the viewfinder, you may see that your image is fuzzy. So we are going to put the shutter button halfway down, and that will focus it automatically. When you do that, you may see what's next. You may see numbers at the bottom of the camera. The camera right now is turned 90 degrees, but your subject will be in focus. So then start taking your pictures. So this is kind of a funny scene. You are looking at the screen of a picture of me taking a picture of a picture. That all aside, what you're seeing here represented is the background is the subject, and you're seeing the camera, what it would look like just after you've taken a picture. The viewfinder on the camera will be lit up and you will see it for a few seconds, but after a while it will disappear. So let me help you figure out how to review your pictures. So up here on the back of the camera there's a little play button. It's a little triangle. When you press it, you will see the last picture taken. So after you press the button, you will see your latest picture. Now if you've been holding your camera at a 90-degree angle from the ground, it will not compensate like a smartphone would, but you know how to rotate the camera to look at your images better. If you want to zoom in, there's a button on the left, two buttons. One is for zooming out and one is for zooming in. When you press the zoom out button, the magnifying glass with a minus sign, you will see the latest pictures that you've taken, and you can zoom out even farther than that. But if you want to zoom in closer on this picture of the subject that you've just taken, you can press the other button to zoom in. Here are pictures of a subject's arm. Go to the next slide, and you can zoom in very close. As you can see, the picture on the bottom right of the is the whole picture, and the yellow highlighted rectangle there is what you've zoomed in on. So obviously the subject's arm hair is of particular note. I'm sure that it's not, but I'm just showing you how to operate the camera. Now after you're done with your pictures, we're going to have to take out the SD card. Some computers like mine are equipped here with an SD card reader. I'll show you here in the next slide. You can pop it out. Mine's just right there in the front. You can't really see the hole, but just insert the card, and pretty soon the screen will recognize what's going on. Mine popped up with a display that says, what do you want to do with this, basically. Yours might not have all of these programs, but I always use the open folder to view files down there. So I click on this, and this is what I see. This is the folder right there. The DCIM is the folder that the camera creates, and as you can see to the left next to my computer, you have your local disk, and you may see your network drive there, but this is just like a external drive. So you're going to double click on the DCIM folder right there, double click on whatever folder it creates. Inside of that folder, it might be a different file for every different setting that you have in your camera. So just go to the most recent one, and there you'll see your pictures. What I like to do is, in my desktop, I like to right click and I like to scroll down to new and create a new folder right there. I type in a new name for the new folder. This is going to be the Roach study, so you might want to title it a specific word for a specific subject or for the pictures that you're taking, but for right now I'm calling it Roche Pics. I'm going to select all of the pictures that were in the SD card. I'm going to drag and drop them into that file on my desktop. There they are. I'm going to drop them. Now it's copied all the pictures there, and I have them. That's great. Now if you have a cord that you can connect from your computer to the camera, then there's this little flap on the side of the camera. You just open it up and you see four different holes. The first one is for GPS, which you don't have. The second one down from the top is a mini USB cord. Hopefully there's one in the box. If there's not, maybe IT can provide you one. I'll try to find you one. And the other larger one is the HDMI cord, which I don't think you'll need, but you just you plug in a mini USB cord. Any one will do as long as it fits. This one happened to be from a Canon camera, but any mini USB cord will fit. If it fits, it will go into the computer. Just connect it to the computer and it should work just fine when you do. But before your computer will be able to recognize the camera, you're going to have to turn it on, and after you do, it will recognize that something's going on, and it will be ready to install in just a few seconds, depending on your operating system and your processing power. And this is the dialog box that appeared on my computer. Basically, I always do the same thing. I double click on the browse files, and then I find the removable storage, which is the card, actually that is the camera, and then I find the file folder that the camera creates, and then I just do the same process. I create a new file on my desktop just like I did before, and I drag and drop all the pictures onto it, and that is how you transfer the files from the camera to your computer. And that is the end of the presentation. I hope you've learned how to take pictures and transfer them from the camera to the computer. Have a wonderful day.